What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I am here with the review for Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta, Season 4, Episode 4, titled Fight for Your Life. All right, you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump into this episode review, shall we? All right, you guys, so this episode, we open up and we see Bow Wow, we see BT, we see Pimpin'. They are at the gym being sleazeballs. It's just like they looking at the women. It's just like, oh, look at them. Oh, look at her. Oh, I'm gonna get her. Oh, I'm gonna slide her DMs. Not everybody wants your big head ass, Bow Wow. Not everyone wants you. So when Pimpin' gets there, he's informing. Now I didn't like this. This scene was very bitch made. I'm trying to think of another way to say it, but there's no easier way to say it. So Pimpin' comes into the gym and he's telling Bow Wow and BT about the fact of Diamond coming down to the studio. And, he's letting them know that, she came down there on business about her split sheets. He signed the split sheets, but then him and Diamond went back to, his place. They had sex and they're back together. I was cool with him saying that they got back together, but did you have to? I mean, that's like bragging. That's basically bragging on your meat. Like, you could have just said she came down to the studio. Me and her had a conversation. We ultimately figured out we still love each other. We still want to be with each other, and left it at that. But they do. So I shouldn't expect anything less, to be quite honest with you. So then we see Bow Wow got a call from Ayanna, and Ayanna is just letting him know that she has the COVID. It's not it's not good for her. It's it's really worse than the flu, and she actually said that later in the episode. But we'll talk about that a little later. Let's move on, you guys. Wasn't much with that scene. All right, now you guys remember I was just telling you that Pimpin' was talking to Bow Wow them about him getting back together with Diamond. Diamond was talking to Remarkable. Now see, the way Diamond did it is much better, because Diamond didn't, she did say that they were together, but she didn't say it in the sense of how Pimpin' said it. It's the difference between how men and women talk. But I just don't think that's a good look for them, to be quite honest with you. So later in the episode, we see Remarkable. So she went to go talk to Buku, Drea, and R. Kelly's daughter. Oh, I don't want to say this and it come off kind of ignorant. I'm gonna keep my now. Doesn't Drea have didn't she have a child that's trans? You guys correct me in the comment section, but I believe that Drea and R. Kelly have a child that's trans. I think. I'm almost positive, because I think R. Kelly was trying to disown, I think it was a son. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. I think Drea, doesn't she have 2 kids with R. Kelly? Yeah, she got 2 kids with them. Neither here nor there. But so yeah, Remarkable is talking to her. So they're catching up on what's going on with each other. Remarkable talking about how in the beginning, before COVID came along, she was getting booked here and there and, left and right. But now that COVID has hit, people are asking for their deposit back. She's not getting booked. I'm like, what did you expect? The club's closed. Because that's pretty much probably what you were booking, clubs. The clubs have closed. Now, if you were really working on your music, then you could be putting your EP out. You could put a single out. See, people, when it comes to, and I'm noticing a lot of these reality stars, they don't have anything outside of, sometimes they don't have anything outside of these shows. They, rely on the show, for a paycheck. And then, if they're able to get booked to go here and there and here and there, they rely on that. You got to use these reality shows are using you guys for your likeness. Be smart when it comes to being on reality TV. Start a business. If you do music, put your music out there. Whatever you do, put it out there. Because if COVID hasn't taught y'all anything, you got to have your hands in different pots. So that way if one thing fizzles and falls apart, you got a backup plan. Just saying. So then Buku is talking about how she's working on her music as well, and Remarkable suggests that she works with Diamond, and she says, well, Diamond is having his album release party. Why don't you come with me to the release party? And she says, cool. But Remarkable is also talking about the fact that she's reluctant to see Miss Deb and Brat after what happened with Brat, and Deb last season. And, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys. Now, this next scene that I'm about to talk about, it did kind of rub me the wrong way. So Shania, her and her boyfriend are out walking their dog, and she's talking to her boyfriend about the fact that Ayanna has COVID, and the fact that she hasn't reached out to Ayanna because of where they are right now in their friendship, or whatever you want to call it. Now, Shania in her interview with the producer was talking about the fact that she's not apologizing to Ayanna because she didn't know that what she said to her was offensive. And I'm just like, ignorance in this situation is not bliss. Like, don't sit in willful ignorance. You said a derogatory term to this girl because, she was talking about who, and I hate when people say this to, lesbians or gay men in specific, when they ask, well, who's the man in a relationship, or who's the girl in a relationship? There's a gay relationship is just the same as a straight relationship. There's no one role. And I think what people typically mean is it's a form of ignorance. It's ignorance. If someone tells you, and most times when people say who's the girl and who's the boy in a relationship, they mean in the bedroom who is for two men, who's the top, who's the bottom. Now for women, is it this? Now I don't know too much about I have watched lesbian porn, but the lesbian porn that I've watched, I don't want to get too graphic, so I'm not gonna go there. But is it the same for lesbians? I don't know. I know that when it comes to the lesbian community, they have different titles for the women's, like you have your studs, you have your femmes, and you have a stem. And I think it's the stud. It's a soft stud. I think I'm not right. I might be right. Might be wrong. But I know you have your studs, and I know you have your femmes, and I know you have your stems. And I know a stem is the difference between a stud and so she can be kind of masculine, but she's also feminine at the same time. I learned that from some of my friends when I was in school, because I always asked them, because they would always talk about it. I'm like, so can you explain to? And I asked this question, because I didn't, I've never been one to say the D word. I've never said that. And Ayanna explained to her, like, saying the D word is like saying the F word, and saying the D and the F word is like saying nigga for a white person coming up to a black person calling us a nigga. It's like that. So when Ayanna was like, she's not apologizing, I'm like, but you're ignorant. Like, you do realize that what you said was ignorant. What you said to her was ignorant, and what you're saying now is still ignorant. If someone educates you on something that you did not know, then you can claim, you can willful ignorance. You can claim that. But once they explain it to you, be like, oh. Because, Ayanna broke it down for her. Literally, she broke it down for her, talking about, it's the difference of saying the F word to somebody. And she still won't apologize. I'm like, but girl, it literally broke it down for you. She broke it down. So when she broke it down for you, you could have been like, oh, okay. Thank you for enlightening me on that situation. I won't ever say it again. And I do, and I wasn't trying to be offensive to you. So I do apologize to you. That's that. I'm moving on. All right, you guys. Next, let's talk about Brat and Judy. So Judy is meeting with her director of operations, and they're smelling some fragrance for her business. It's Kaleidoscopes, right, you guys? I think that's the name of it. Yeah, that's the name of it, Kaleidoscope. So they're smelling the fragrance. And when the director was talking to Judy, I'm like, did Brad put a bug in her ear? Because she said that they need a bigger space. I'm like, makes you wonder if Brad put a little bug in her ear to say that. And then lo and behold, who comes into the room? Brad. So once, her partner left, Brad is talking to Judy and telling Judy that, she's met with some real estate, realtors in the area, and they can go look at some some warehouses in the area. And once Judy broke it down, it makes, I knew what it was before. I knew what the issue was. It's not as easy as Brad wants to make it out for Judy to move her warehouse from New Orleans to Atlanta. It's not that easy. Like, she got to do so much stuff, so much legal stuff, her insurance, securing property, actually, looking at the property, seeing if she likes it. It's so much red tape that Judy has to go through to get it. Now I get where Brad is coming from, but ultimately it's Judy's decision. But Judy says, what, she'll look into it. So then Brad is like, okay. So she tells her that Diamond is having her album release party, and she wants to go. And Judy's like, so you want to go public with me? She's like, we done already gone public. Now we on social media. We done made a social media official. So this will be our first, official outing together. And Judy says, cool, we'll go. So let's move on over, you guys. All right, you guys, next, let's talk about Deb. So Deb is at the crib, and she got a call from Lily. And, Lily is like, me and Deb have known each other for a long time. We real good friends with each other. And I'm not going to let something so small as her supporting who come in between our friendship. And I do respect that. And I don't personally know anybody in my friend group or my family that voted for who. But if they did, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I can't rock with you. Because, when you come to your friends and your family, you know who they are and you know how they are. It might be a question of, I don't understand how you can support something like that. That's one thing. But I'm not going to let that come in between a friend. I'm not going to let that come in between my friendship or family. So I got where Lily was coming from. And then Deb also explained to her that Tammy had came to her and talked to her about supporting who as well. So then, Lily is talking about the fact that her son just got out of jail and he wants to focus on his music. And Deb was like, oh, okay, well, Deb has been talking about this project for the last, 2 or 3 episodes, and we still don't know what this project is that she's talking about. But Deb tells her that she has this project that she thinks that he would be a good fit for. So then we do see Lily later in the episode talking to her son, Kai. I'm going to keep my opinions of Kai to myself. That's all I'm going to say. So Lily is talking to him about his music, and, she basically tells Kai, like, when it comes down to this whole music game thing, like, you got to get your personal life together before you can even think about doing anything in the business. And I would agree with Lily. She's talking about what he went to jail for. I wasn't really listening, to be quite honest with you. But from what Lily was saying, it's like he's been in and out of jail before. And if you want to do this music game, if you want to do anything with your life, you got to, like she said, get your personal life together. Stop doing dumb stuff that gets you locked up. That's really what you want to say to him. Stop doing stupid stuff that'll get you locked up in jail. So then she tells him, about Deb, and she's like, Diamond is having this album release party, and I want to bring you there and introduce you to some of the people there. Kai is more interested in talking to Diamond. Again, keeping my opinions to myself. Let's just do that one. Keep my opinions to myself. Let's move on and wrap the episode up, you guys. All right, you guys. So we see Hurricane. So he's talking to Ayanna on the phone. Listening to Ayanna talk, it's crazy because she knew she had asthma. Like, that's one of the reasons why I don't hardly go anywhere as it is now. And whenever I do go places, I'm always masked up. Like, I put my mask on. Sometimes it is a little uncomfortable, especially like because I go work out every night and I have my mask on. It's kind of hard to work out, but I do it nonetheless because I need to stay safe. Like I can't get COVID. I have really bad asthma, and I don't want to be in a situation like Ayanna was. She's talking about how, she's had the flu and it's worse than the flu. I'm like, oh my God, it's worse than the flu because I've had the flu. And man, when I had the flu, it was the worst. I felt like crap. So, she also said that she had an asthma attack as she was going to take a shower. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. No, can't have that happening either. So then Hurricane tells her, he's going to send her some stuff. He got some vitamin C, vitamin B. He got all kind of stuff to send her. She's like, well, if you bring it over here, you can't come in. Understandable. So then let's move over to Diamond's album release party. So we see everyone shows up to the party. So then we saw as Remarkable, Buku, and Diamond sat down and they were talking. They were talking about Ayanna. This scene kind of, it just made me feel some type of way. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It really made me feel some type of way. Because I don't care what issues I have with a person, especially like Shania, your issue with Ayanna is stupid because you don't want to apologize because you said something that was offensive. Now, excuse me, y'all, that ain't COVID, by the way. Now, Remarkable said that, she and Ayanna got into it on Twitter because of Brandon. Is that Brandon from season 1 and 2 that got into it with, who did he get into it? Lil Wayne's daughter. What is her name? I can't think of the girl's name right. Reginae, and he got into it with Reginae and was it Tiny's daughter? Zanique. You guys correct me in the comment section. I think that's who he got into it with. But is that the Brandon that they speaking of? Is that the Brandon that we talking about here? But either way, they got into it because she asked a question about Brandon. I'm thinking that's what they're talking about. So they're all talking about Ayanna having COVID. But not one person has reached out to Ayanna to say, hey, Ayanna. Like, I get it. Y'all all have issues with each other. But if y'all know that this girl has had COVID for 3 weeks at this point, a simple text message would suffice. Text message, DM, you got Twitter, you got Instagram, you got all kind of social media. If the girl blocked, if she blocked you, that's one thing. But you could at least just send a message saying, hey, I know that you and I right now, we're not in a good spot with each other. I heard that you, and then I think it was Shania that said that she didn't want to be all up in her business. That's not all up in her business just to say, hey, I know we're not good right now, but I just want to, I heard about you having COVID. I really hope that, you get better. If you need anything, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free. Like, that's the least thing. That's the least that you can do. Like, the stuff that y'all have issues with is very trivial. And that's usually always what it is. You get into it with people over the smallest and stupidest things. And then when something bad happens, you be like, damn, what were we even arguing about? What were we fighting about? Nothing. But they do say, hey, we need to do something for her. So then, Remarkable, she noticed Brad and Judy sitting. So Remarkable goes over and talks to Brad and Judy. And in a nutshell, to wrap it up, Remarkable has, ate a piece of humble pie and has come humbly to Brad to ask Brad for help. So then we see Kai and Lily show up to the party. So Kai is talking to Diamond. Now, if you notice in the corner, Pimpin was just, he was seething basically. So he went over there where Diamond and Kai got in between them. Now that was rude as hell to get how this man supposed to know that y'all together? You ain't hugged up with your woman or nothing like that. So how was this man supposed to know? And then he stepped on his shoes, and that's what Kai was telling him, and it went off. And then Bow was talking about, if my boy go up, we all jumping in. Bow Wow, you ain't gonna bust a grape in a fruit fight in Welch's backyard. sit down and shut up. But you guys, that was Growing Up Hip Hop. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Leave your comments in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification button so you guys are aware when I drop anything else. And share this video. And also, drop down in the description bar. Check out my affiliate link. Also, you guys go over there and subscribe to the Planner channel. And do me a favor, you guys. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. Socially distance. And we will all get through this together. And I will see you guys again later for, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the week's hottest topics. I will see you guys for Bell Collective. I will see you guys for Life After Lockup. And then on Saturday, we will see you guys again for the Wendy Williams movie. We're going to review that. And also, I will see you guys for Love and Marriage Huntsville. So, until then, you guys,